What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of Raising Kanan Power Book 3, Season 1, Episode 6, Level Up. Unfortunately, we didn't get an episode last week, so that's why we here. We could have been on episode 7, and to this day, I still don't know why we didn't get an episode, but okay. So the episode starts off, you got Raquel, she's in the projects where she got the apartments, okay? Them two buildings, them two apartments right on top of each other. And, she trying to get up there, and this lady comes out and was like, this older woman was like, listen, baby girl, the elevator don't work. And she was like, damn, you know what? You right. I've been here 5 times and I keep on forgetting that. She said, girl, I've been here 40 years, okay? And the city ain't done nothing, so she walks up the steps and go up there to the apartment, and then the building manager for that building, of course, he coming over there like, oh my goodness, I told you that you can't be making all these changes. It's not gonna fly, because the main head, his boss that works with the city, he's up in the apartment, and he basically like, who gave you the permission, and who do you think you are to be putting holes in the floor and taking out appliances and stuff like this? This is a city property, okay? You are just renting it. You are just using it for the moment. You don't own this. And then, Raquel, he tried to be a little stern, right? And he a decent looking guy. And as soon as he, I just kind of had the feel of what this was about to go to, because he started looking at her. Raquel, she a bad bee, you know what I'm saying? She look good. And at this point, Raquel is like, I'm just a single mother, I'm trying to put some new appliances in or whatever, what I gotta do and all this. And he was like, okay, well, what you can do is we can have a private conversation later on tonight around 8 o'clock with just me and you. And I mean just me and you. And he looking all thirsty like whatever, and I'm like, I don't think this gonna go the way that you think it's gonna go. You gonna get something, but it ain't the something that you want, okay? Because Raquel was like, sure, no doubt, And she told old boy to continue. She about to have her workers come up in here and continue doing what they initially supposed to be doing, and that y'all not finna come up in here and stop it, okay? I said, all right, Miss Raquel, we gonna see how this work, Meanwhile, we get Malcolm, okay? He walks up on the doctor. I said, first of all, you are a black man. You can't be walking up on these white women like this, okay? Because the way she jumped out her pocket, if she would have had something on her, she probably would have used it. You know what I'm saying? I said, you got to be careful. Truth be told, you can't be walking up on nobody like that. He walked up all stuff like, I said, what's going on? He looked so different out of his work clothes, the suit and tie, in a leather jacket and everything. He looked like a regular older man that's, just going through middle-age problems. And at this point, he just asking her, do you what would happen if I have a son? She said, first of all, you said that you ain't had no kids, but hypothetically, if you had a son, he would be half of your DNA or whatever, and it could have possibly work. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, how old is this hypothetical son? She was like 15, and she said usually in the with a bone marrow transplant or something like this, they have to be 18 or older. But in this case, we probably, in certain cases, depending on the severity, we can make exceptions or whatever. And as long as the child's parents or whatever give consent. So I don't know what angle Malcolm is going to get to one, convince Kanan that he is his son, and then to convince him to go ahead and give him his bone marrow, and not only that, get it around Rock, okay? Because that's a whole procedure that's gonna have him put down. You know what I'm saying? Bone marrow, you literally drilling into the bone, okay? So I don't see how this is gonna work, but he calculating something to the point that he didn't even come into work. And so his partner, she's talking to the chief because he brought her in there trying to see whether or not, this is the first time in a while that he's ever been off, and so he trying to see, is she gonna do desk duty because they short, or go out on the street. He didn't really want to put her on the street by herself because she's still new. And he said that he told her father that he would look after her for the first couple of months or so. She claims that she's ready. She just got to do a couple of follow-ups. So he was like, okay, just be cool with it. Meanwhile, we got Lou. He trying to get this whole showcase going. Okay, we saw Kanan and Famous earlier, posting up flyers for the showcase. police. And at one point, Kanan saw a car roll up into the gas station. I don't know what that means, but you know, he was very much looking at it. I don't know if that was somebody else, like Unique's people or whatever, but he was fixated on it for a second. But then, you know, we get to the showcase, the venue for the showcase. You got Jessica there. Jessica there hyping her up, hyping up Lou, like basically stroking his ego and trying to, you know, soothe things out and make him feel good about what's going on, because, you know, he don't feel like he's really much in control. And she, you know, she's like, he's lessening himself as to what he's doing. Okay, like she had to say, you're the money man. And then the money man, because Lou said, I'm just the money man, I ain't doing nothing else or whatever. She was like, no, you're the money man. In situations like this, the money man is the person that runs the whole show. Okay, because dude came there with you know, he couldn't unload the truck without the money. The lighting people coming over there, Crown coming over there saying this person needs the money and all this stuff. And I was like, damn, Crown, what are you doing? What exactly are you doing? You broke bitch. Like, he was making me mad. All the money Lou was putting out. And I said, I hope Lou's name is on the flyers and on the headline or whatever, because this is Lou event at this point. You know what I'm saying? And so Raquel looking like, so this where our money going to and all this stuff. And he was like, it's going to be cool. It's going to be straight, you know. And she's asking, do you got stuff ready to, you know, so they can sell their stuff up in there? And he was like, nah, we ain't doing no drugs. We ain't doing nothing like that. This is going to be clean. And it was like, what about Unique's crew? Because you know some of their crew going to kind of get up in here. He was like, they going to be clean too. Okay. Raquel is just not seeing the bigger picture of what this is about. Okay, you throwing this showcase, you wasting this money for what? Why are we wasting money on this little music mess or whatever? Okay, we got bigger fish to fry. This money can be put elsewhere. And so, you know, he said he got it. So he goes over there to Unique's crew to talk to Unique and basically try to tell him, you know, I know your crew gonna be up in there, but if you come to the showcase, let it be clean. We not about to do nothing. This is a neutral ground at this point. And Unique kind of made it seem as though, you know, he was gonna be cool with it or whatever. Everything is gonna be copacetic if you know, Raquel is gonna be on board. And it was like, yeah, everything's gonna be cool. So at this point, Lou left. You know, he tried to get into his head a little bit, but Lou went on ahead and left thinking everything is going to be all straight. I really hope, because I'm looking at it, you know, as I go, I'm recording as I go, so I can get everything. I just hope Lou is smart enough to know that you can't trust your enemies, okay? Because as soon as he left, you bring Spank, I think that's his name, right? Is it Spank? The one that supposedly turned over, okay? The old dude that was working with him, that was working with Raquel. And shout out to Eric, okay? Because Eric Ashford, okay? You be commenting on my Facebook. See if you can comment on the video now, because I think I was able to fix the reason why you couldn't comment on my videos. Just check it out for me, okay? Because we was having this issue for years, and I think I figured it out. If you can, put a comment down there and say, girl, I'm here, okay? We fixed the problem. But anyway, he said, and I didn't kind of remember this or think about this, dude probably is not really, you know, turning and on Raquel when she told him to get in the car and let's chat, and we didn't see that conversation. Raquel probably put him in there to infiltrate, you know what I'm saying, to infiltrate Unique's crew, to make it seem like he was turning, but he really wasn't. And we kind of see that a little bit. Oh, excuse me. We kind of see that a little bit by the way that, you know, after Lou left and they pulled him out there and they was like, so what we gonna do? And they said, listen, we gonna light that thing up and we gonna bring him up in there too. Okay, in the way that dude's face looked like he was a little bit worried, like, I don't know if this what we need to be doing. So we gonna see what's gonna happen. So, you know, Marvin go over there to the crew, whatever he had standing there, and I guess they was supposed to be getting the re-up. Nobody showed up, okay? They over there waiting and ain't nobody show up, so Marvin is pissed at this point. And then we see, you know, Raquel, she talking to Kanan, and she basically confronts him about the fact, you know, she was doing his hair, but confronts him about the fact that, you know, he got arrested by the police and he did not tell her, okay? And she's just like, what was said? Because after Malcolm then came to her house and confronted her about Malcolm being the daddy, you know what I'm saying? She wanted to get the information to see exactly what did Malcolm exactly expose to him, okay? And he was like, he ain't do nothing, you know what I'm saying? He was just asking me my birthday, where I'm from, and all that stuff, whatever, you know? So she was like, cool. And I do like the fact that, you know, Kanan has come around to Symphony. And, you know, because Rock did ask, how you liking Symphony? How you liking the class? And he said that he's actually enjoying it. He's talking about something that actually matters. And see, that's what, let me tell y'all something. That's what this school system needs to go to, okay? Y'all need to understand. Y'all want to talk about stuff, okay? Talk about stuff that actually matters, that keep these kids engaged, okay? Throw the little real history up in there, but razzle dazzle that bitch, okay? So that the kids can stay entertained. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what my teachers used to do. I never was bored in the history class. That's why if I could make money and if I did not want to teach, because probably most likely you would have to teach if you wanted to do like history and stuff like that, or go to museums and shit like that. I didn't want to do that. I would have been a history major because I love history. It's just fascinating to me. But you had to make the subjects interesting. And whatever Symphony is doing, you know, Kanan is all the way here for it. And so, you know, Raquel is trying to understand exactly how did you get out, okay? And, you know, first of all, Kanan said, well, how I know? How did you know? Whatever. Because Spank, is his name Spank? Spank, it is Spank, okay? Because Spank told him. Spank told her, okay, that you was there and that he saw somebody else come bail your ass out, come get you out of there. And then he was like, you know, well, Symphony did it. And, you know, it's not because he didn't say nothing because I told him not to say anything. He wanted to, but I told him not to say anything. And of course, you know, he didn't want Raquel to be mad at him. And Raquel was like, Symphony, a grown ass man. He made his choice. I said, Raquel, don't take your anger out on him, okay? Please. You know, he was just looking out for your son, all right? Meanwhile, not Raquel, Jukebox is at home. She looking at Die Hard, okay? And next thing you know, somebody knocking at the door. I said, oh, is mama a little depressed because her little girlfriend ain't there? And girl, as soon as that door knocked, baby, who was at the door? Nicole. I said, not in this neighborhood. Girl, they was upstairs in the room and they was kikiing and talking and whatever, catching up, listening to Tina Marie. You know, I was like, come on, old Tina Marie. Let me tell you something. Tina Marie was that girl, okay? Get into it. But they just catching up and, you know, Nicole was like, listen, so many people asked me, am I in the right neighborhood? Am I lost? As I was coming here, Jukebox was said, you know, they'll just come after me with a bet in your neighborhood. Oh, they didn't do that. Oh, get out of here and this and this and this and that. Talking about, you know, she was mimicking what her mama said. You know, and she was like, listen, my mama would have did that regardless of if you was black or white or whatever, because she just don't understand the gay stuff, okay? And I was like, Nicole, open your eyes, because no, she wouldn't have had that harsh of a reaction. She would have probably had a reaction, but it wouldn't have been no, I don't ever want to see you again. Get your ass out of my house. She was 2 seconds away from calling her the N-word. Okay, the daddy was so oblivious. He still makes me chuckle. Okay, he was like, what's going on? What's going on? But, you know, Nicole doing all of this, she said, listen, girl, I'm still going to come to your showcase. I'm still coming there to support you. I already told my mom I was going to my friend's party, which I'm lying about, just to get out here to you, okay? You know, she out there posting flyers out there with Jukebox, and at this point, the little security, why I call that lady a security guard? She a detective. The detective, the little white girl, she rolls up and she see Jukebox and Nicole's little interaction, and I was like, oh, what you peeping? And she was like, yeah, okay, I can see a way in. So, you know, we see Nicole get up on the bus, and then she goes over there to Jukebox trying to talk to her. I'm trying to investigate, you know, your friend D-Wiz murder, whatever. If you want to talk, you want to give me any information, just let me know. I'm right here, whatever. And if you want to talk about anything else, you know, because I see things, I know things that other people probably don't know and don't understand. I said, oh, so you too? I said, you know, she thought that she had a way in with Jukebox. That's how she was going to slide it in. I said, now, is you really or is you just playing trying to get in there to lower her defenses? Because it's obvious Jukebox ain't got nobody else that she can talk to about what's really going on with her. Meanwhile, Raquel is over there talking to Lou and Marvin about what's going on and the fact that they ain't getting no shipment. Okay, they basically running low. Okay, they're running so low, and Raquel was like, we've been low many a times, but we came back. And of course, she's trying to get them to understand this is what this is what's feeding y'all. Okay, so you need to get on the ball. I need you, Marvin, to go here. I need Lulu, you to go here. He was like, I go talk to Greasy. He was like, I gotta go back to the venue for the showcase, but I go talk to Greasy first, and then I go to the venue. And Raquel was like, all right, she leaves out. Of course, Marvin and Lulu, they still got that little tension between them. It's mostly on Marvin. He's still up in his feelings, and he hating on his showcase and all that stuff. And he was like, your daughter is in the showcase too. If you cared enough to be a father, you would know that. Okay. Of course, Marvin didn't know, and he's sitting there salty. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to put down something that's trying to help your child, all right, that you don't even care about at this point. I don't even think that it's just that he don't care about Jukebox. It's just that he's more focused on the street life. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, I don't know, if she would have been a boy, how he would have been more attentive. I think so, because he probably would have had him out there with him, just like, Kanan. Kanan did try to talk to him and bring him in on it, because remember when I mentioned that he was looking at the gas station in the car, he basically was looking at a way for them to, they won't have to be out there selling stuff on the corners. They can just drive through and get the stuff and drive out. You know what I'm saying? And this is like where white people can come in, they can get more, expand their base, okay? And we ain't have to worry about territories and nothing like that, or nobody coming in, coming out, or worries. At this point, Marvin is like, that's cool, but I'm gonna have to pass, okay? He'll have to pass on it. Meanwhile, Raquel went over there to go talk to Dean, okay? Back at the old senior citizen home with his grandma, and they playing bingo. He turned that hearing aid off. Every time I see that, it is funny to me, okay? It reminds me of the Nutty Professor too. I told y'all that before. But, basically Dean said, listen, it's over and it's done with you, Raquel. You ain't, your service are no longer needed because I can't trust you, okay? Unique said he's going to buy out your stuff with a 20% premium, and so therefore I took that deal. And also, the other dude, remember in that one episode when we first saw Dean and Raquel went and tried to struck that deal with his dude to get him the location and the time when Unique stuff was going to drop? And then all this stuff happened with the cops, fuddling stuff up. And then Unique had to eventually, take out his own friend. Yeah, that dude, he done got. Because he done found out about, Dean done found out what he did and felt like he overstepped boundaries. And so, because of that whole action that Raquel put into play, she called somebody to get killed, and now she calls her supply to die, okay, or get cut off from Dean. So Raquel goes the next best step that she knows of. She goes down to the bodega. I got into the bodega. Do you guys follow Drewski, the little social media comedian? That dude is funny. Like, it's been a long time since I seen a comedian off of social media that is actually purely funny to me, in just about everything that they do, and just about all of his skits be having me rolling. And when he did that one about going to the bodega, this shit was funny as hell. But she goes down there to the Colombian at the bodega, and Julia, the wife, every time we see this girl, she got various degrees of bruising on her face. I said her husband can't keep his hands off of her. What is she doing? She probably ain't doing nothing. Okay? She probably, put a little bit, one too many pieces of corn on the plate, and he popped her ass. And she looking at him, her like, listen, I need to, she gonna say, I fell or something. And she was like, what, you fell right into your husband's fist? And then basically she wanted her connect, okay? She was like, I know your cousins. Your cousins down up in Colombia, okay? I know your cousins, and I need to talk to them. Get me into, circles with them or whatever. She was like, I'm just saying, my husband don't like my cousin. Okay, and well, who cares? Okay, if we did whatever it is that our husbands wanted or whatever, all we'll do is, be sucking them off and all that stuff. That's it. Okay? I'm talking about you. You hooked that thing up. Julia had a smile on her face when Raquel left. Okay? And at this point in time, baby, I'm a little concerned for Julia only because I want her to get out this situation, and I feel like she probably gonna take her own husband out because she's getting empowered. She's seeing a woman taking control at this point, and Mama getting a little bit inspired. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, that detective saw that showcase flyer. Okay, I said, girl, don't come up in the spot. You probably gonna get fucked up because it's about to go down. Okay. Meanwhile, Raquel, she getting ready. She had on her little red dress, okay, and she talking with Kanan. Kanan got his little, shirt on, giving him boys to men with the, the sweater vest and the tie. She don't know how to tie it, and she was like, "This probably one of the times you wish you had a man in the house or whatever." And they go into this conversation about, do you ever think that you needed to have a father? And she was like, I don't need no father. I got you. You know what I'm saying? And she was I was just like, oh, okay. So, well, what's going on? You having second thoughts or whatever? Girl, Raquel, you need to just tell the truth at this point. At this point, she gonna keep on holding on. She gonna keep on holding on to leave that boy in the dark. So it's time for the showcase to let in or whatever. We see they hyping up the crowd. You got the little MC out there hyping up the crowd. You got not Marvin, but Lou showing up in a limo. And then you got Unique's crew outside with Spank in the back, and they got themselves prepared. Okay, they making sure the guns is all ready and everything. And I'm just like, oh no, what is gonna happen? Okay. But then inside, you got Jukebox. She's having anxiety, stage fright, all of that. She's nervous. Nicole comes back there trying to, make sure she's okay, get her some water. Famous come back there trying to see what's good because at this point, Famous is only really thinking about himself, okay? Jukebox, first of all, when Famous sees Nicole, he started, white Nicole and her and giving her that nickname and, hitting on her a little bit. So Juke ain't really here for that. At the same time, she's nervous and wanting him to realize that we haven't prepared for this, okay? And that's part of the reason why she's feeling the way that she's feeling because they haven't prepared. And Famous is just like, I mean, all you got to do is get up there and sing the background. It ain't nothing, okay? So of course, Kanan come up in there and trying to see what's going on. And then Nicole was like, I think y'all need to talk or whatever to get her out because, this is not going to help because Juke went up in the bathroom. She locked herself in there. She kind of threw up and she just wouldn't come out. But at first, Kanan thought that, they wasn't going to be able to talk because they got into it earlier. But fortunately, they were able to talk, okay? Jukebox listened to him and, he apologized and all that stuff or whatever and wound up getting her up out of there, okay? And so we move on from that and we get to Miss Raquel, okay? Raquel went in her red dress to the city inspector that, the little, I supposed to meet up with you at 8 o'clock or whatever, go up into the apartment. He's sitting there, he got his little drink or whatever. And then he was like, I asked around about you and I seen who you is. They say that you some big time drug dealer or whatever. And she opened up her purse and, she pulls out some money and next thing you know, he was basically like, nah, that ain't what it is, okay? And I think he tried to come on to her to the point where she tried to struggle with him and he choked her out or whatever. He was choking on her. Next thing you know, she like pushed in his eyes, which made him punch her in the stomach. I'm sitting here looking like, oh my God, Raquel, no, get up off the floor, bitch. Get up off the floor. Okay, like she just on the floor because she doubled in pain. But then he started to unzip his pants. I said, oh my God, please don't. Please don't. And it was a hammer right there. And she grabbed that hammer before he can even get them things all the way unzipped and knocked his ass in the head. And I said, whew, okay. At first, I thought she killed him. But no, she didn't. She called Marvin there, okay? She called Marvin up in there to take care of the situation. Make sure he feel it or whatever. So at this point, she had old boy tied up, okay? He was still alive. Marvin put him inside the wall in the installation, okay? The installation and everything. And he up there talking about, oh, people don't see what I'm doing or whatever. And they take me for a joke, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I messed up sometimes and everything. But people gonna see. They gonna see. You gonna see. Well, you won't see. And then he took the nail gun and just put two up in his brain. I said, listen, I don't have time for this. I said, ain't the body gonna stank in the wall? Ain't the body gonna decompose in the wall and stink? Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Okay. I said so y'all would start trying to get good towards the end of the season, like the second half. They did put out a tweet saying that the second half was really going stuff was really gonna amp up. But moving on from that, um, Symphony, he's there. Raquel finally gets there to the bar, to the venue. She about to get her little drink or whatever. Symphony shows up, and Raquel leaves out. Okay, so Symphony go running after her, and he like, "What's good?" She was like, "One thing that you don't do is just because you." Messing around with me don't mean that you trying to be daddy to my son, that you could do this and do that with my son. And I'm sitting here like, Raquel, why are you doing this? Symphony is a good man, okay, because he knows exactly who you are. He knows what exactly you do, and he's still cool with it, and he's trustworthy, and he's being a good influence on your son at this point. Okay, you wanted you wanted your son to like him, and now when he started to like him, and okay, maybe he should have told you what was going on, but at the same time, this how it works. Are you really finna get in your feelings just because he got him out of trouble? He got him out of trouble and he didn't tell you. I mean, I can see if it was like he committed a murder or something like that and he didn't tell you, fine. But this, he didn't. Okay, calm down. And you gonna mess up a good relationship or a budding relationship because of that. And I was just really up in my feelings over that. I said, girl, you know what? You need some little help, and you probably just running off for a drilling because you got attacked earlier, and so you in your feelings a little bit about that. Meanwhile, Symphony was like, so that's it, and she was like, yeah. And I said, Symphony just walked away. I said, Symphony, you deserve better at this point. Raquel, you really disappoint me, okay? Meanwhile, these niggas trying to get up into the club, and they didn't want to come in there without their guns, and Lou had to come up in there and tell them, y'all can't come in strapped. I don't care who you are, And so he started talking big talk or whatever, talking about some you Queens niggas just trying to come over here and eat off of Brooklyn people, whatever. And Lou had to tell him, remember that you over here on the South Side in Queens at this point, okay? So you need to calm it down before we ship your ass back over there to Brooklyn some type of way, okay? And that was code for you gonna get your ass messed up. Meanwhile, while all this going down, dude all in his chest and in his feelings or whatever, thinking he so bad and whatever, but Raquel showed up and stood right there and he calmed that shit down. I said, power, bitch. That's what it is, all right? I like that. He was like, it's all good. Let him up in there. And of course, Raquel had to compliment and give Lou a little compliment and let him know that you doing what it is and all that shit. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. But she had to let him know, you keep on with this little showcase and y'all can have a little fun. But as soon as this is over with, we back to business tomorrow, okay? Meanwhile, Raquel, she walking down the street and she see detective, the little lady detective, and she said, where your partner at? Oh, he ain't here. Let him know that it's a big thing to try to come between a son, a mother and a son or something like that, okay? And she was like, oh, what? The detective is real confused. I said, girl, just relay the message here, understand, don't try to decipher it or nothing. It ain't for you, okay? That's it. Stay out of black folks' business. Or I should say, stay out of drug dealer business. So, them dudes, they up in the club. Of course, Jessica is up there. They basically talking mess about Queens, and he come over there, and the dude that was up in the suit, the burgundy suit, he come over there trying to talk to Jessica. Jessica was like, I'm Lou's girl. He like, I don't care. Okay, she was like, get the freak on. Next thing you know, he go over there trying to talk to Nicole. Okay, Nicole uncomfortable and underage as hell. Okay, so Jessica come through and was like, leave her alone, move, go away. All right. And so she was like, you jukebox girl, right? You her friend, so you family, okay? Meanwhile, Crown come up there and Jessica had to let him know, your people, need to reel your people in because them niggas was from him, them his crew, okay? And it was like, because they making people uncomfortable. Meanwhile, he up there lacing a joint with some coke or whatever, or it probably could be crack, but I'm pretty sure it was coke. And he passed it to Nicole because Jessica said no. And Nicole said, whatever, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I said, oh, girl, you give in to peer pressure that quick? That quick? There was really no resistance. You just said, come on, okay? Meanwhile, she feeling it all of a sudden because It's about to start. The Famous and Jukebox about to get up on stage. You got Marvin up in the crowd. You know, he looking. Okay, Famous get on there. He don't really, all of a sudden now he got nerves. Okay, you come in at Jukebox earlier, but now you the one that got nerves. Jukebox had to take control of the mic and, you know, hype the crowd up. This Queens and we this and we the streets and all this stuff and woo woo woo. You know, setting it up to get the crowd warmed up to him. And then, you know, Famous, he get up there and he started doing what he needed to do, right? And everybody's vibing to it, okay? And next thing you know, we see Kanan. He like, yeah, but hold up. He listening to the words, and basically the song is called Streets Need a Body. That's the hook, okay? And he is retelling stories about stuff that he didn't do, and you hear the older Kanan saying this is what niggas do today, okay? These motherfuckers want to be gangsters so bad, you know, they put out, they studio gangsters, okay? They talking about stuff that they didn't actually do, all right? You know, he talking about how the D Wiz situation, I don't even know if it was D Wiz, but it was a couple of things that went down, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it came to the stash house, and how two of them left and two of them got, you know what I'm saying? One got and two of them left or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it was just, you know, Kanan really wasn't really here for it, okay? You know, and then you see Spank and old boy trying to get up into the club, and they found a way in through the back. And he didn't tell Spank who he was supposed to be hitting until they got into the club. And he walked right past Kanan. He looked at him. Kanan didn't see him, but he looked at him and he walked right past him. And then he found out that they were supposed to be hitting Lou. And so when they both get close together, and Lou turned around and he kind of like saw Spank or whatever, Spank did like this or something. He gave him kind of like the heads up that, you know, you need to get the fuck up out of here. Next thing you know, Spank turned around, not Spank, but Lou, he turned around and punched somebody and said, F Brooklyn, you know, and it started a whole big old fight. So everybody just scrambling and trying to get up out of there. And at this point, we see Malcolm, he up in a bodega, not bodega, why I keep on saying it? He up in a diner, whatever, just mulling over this picture of Kanan. And then we see Raquel just sitting there at the crib just looking like, you know, in deep thought or whatever. So while they up in there fighting and everything, they get outside, spanking old boy from a Unique's crew, and he was like, I knew you wasn't shit, okay? Unique knew that you was a snitch and all that stuff, that you was Raquel's snitch and you wasn't gonna do nothing with Lou and all this stuff. And so I was just like, oh no, Spank about to be taken out. So he was, you know, the little informant, okay? And so we see Kanan going over there to the Vina house, and they're about to get it in or whatever. And, you know, they made sure they had protection. I was so glad that they showed that. You got Famous in the bathroom with this girl, this other white girl, and she's about to blow him off, okay? And this is the first time that he's had any type of sexual activities outside of his own hand, you know? And so, you know, he was just taking it back, you know what I'm saying? He was enjoying the moment. Meanwhile, you got Jukebox and Nicole on the bus, and Nicole, she high. At this point, she high. Streets need a body. Streets need a body. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't want to be with anyone else but you. And at first, I was looking at Jukebox like, girl, tell that girl to shut up. She embarrassing you on the bus. It's too late for all of this, okay? But then they start kissing. I said, in public, lesbianics in public, okay? In 1990, what? It was cute, but I ain't need to see that because y'all young. You know what I'm saying? And so at this point, Kanan, Lou getting it in with Jessica in the limo, and then Kanan on his way home. So he finally gets in. He sneaks in. We see that Raquel is in the bed, sleep or whatever, and you know, he finally gets into his room, turn the lights on, and then all of a sudden you hear this pop or whatever. We got your boy right here, something that they said. And so of course Raquel woke up and she got that gun real quick and she go running, her and Kanan. Baby, they done threw Spank's body out there in front of her house in his drawers. Spank wear tighty whities, girl. I ain't seen tighty whities since a long time, okay? I said this is the 90s, okay? This is the 90s, the early 90s too. I said, oh my God, you know, it looked like they just beat him up and tortured him a little bit. His eye was messed up. I don't know if he's really dead, but he could be because he wasn't moving. But then again, he could just be unconscious. I don't know. Y'all think he dead? I haven't seen the preview for next week's episode, but ooh, that was cute. I like this episode. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about the episode, and I will see you guys later on tonight for Real Housewives of Potomac. Peace.